Awesome, guys. Okay, so wonderful. So today we're going to work with a weapon, okay? And we're going to choose a knife, but it could very well be anything. Now, I'm going to show it different because it's actually not using the weapon, but it's understanding how it's carried and understanding how it's pulled out. That is the main focus of today's class. So we're not focusing on utilizing the knife at all. It's nothing like this. It's strictly, try to see. Let me just make sure everybody's muted for a sec, guys. Hold on, just so we don't get any crosstalk here. Boom, there we go. Okay, so try to see it like if you're a professional, right? If you're in a situation, let's say I'm a bodyguard or whatever, I'm a parent. I don't want to detect the situation like this. Like the weapon is already out, it's directed at me. I want to detect it as soon as I can. This is the most important thing for me. The sooner I can detect that it's on somebody or that somebody might have one or how they're carrying it, these kind of things mean a lot to me. These will tell me what type of work is possible. Okay, anything else will kind of deter you. Now, there's the psychology of weapon as well. The style of weapon also dictates the type of work that the person might do. But for now, I strictly want to understand how it's carried and how it's drawn out. Okay, how it's drawn out. And I'm not talking about how, I'm talking about how professionals do it. Now, when you're talking about a weapon from the professional level, nobody sees it, guys. You will not see it. Okay, it is like the Bourne Identity, like that guy Jason. It's like Jason Bourne. It's like if he's in the room, it's already a problem. Like it is huge. So being able to detect things early is what a professional is all about. This is way too late. This is way too late. Okay, so we really, really, really want to understand this. So first thing we're going to do, put the weapon on you. Okay, put something. It doesn't matter where. The most important thing is it's somewhere comfortable. Like I have a hoodie, so I have a pouch here. Okay, so for me, it's very comfortable here. The other place for me is in my right pocket. Okay, these are the two places that are convenient because I'm right-handed. Doesn't matter. It could be back here for you. To me, it doesn't matter where you're going to carry it. I just need you to understand that wherever you put it, it should be super comfortable and somewhat concealed, right? It's not exactly like you're not showing it off, right? It's kind of comfortably on you, right? And start to walk, okay? And maybe you won't notice anything, right? But I want you to try, because when people carry weapons, they have a different type of walk about them, a different type of, even yourself, like you feel a different type of confidence or a different type of air about you. Now, you guys are home alone now and you're doing this online, but if we were in a group, you would be able to watch other people walking around and they have a weapon and see how they changed or how their demeanor or how their other things changed, right? And now, if you can, take the weapon and just put it down, okay? Put it somewhere not on you, put it down, like away from you, and walk. And try to see what changed. Of course, you might feel the weight of the weapon is not on you anymore. I don't know, but something changed, right? Like in me, I feel lighter, but not just by weight. I feel lighter because I don't feel like I have something on me. So it feels like I don't feel as burdened. And weapons will burden you sometimes, right? You can ask me questions anytime too, guys. I'm just going to talk. Feel free to interrupt anytime and I'll explain. Now put the weapon back on you. Again, somewhere comfortable, start walking again. And you should be able to detect a little change. For sure, I feel the weight in front of me a little bit. And I do feel, I don't know, heavier. Like I feel like I have something on me that has some responsibility, I guess, right? It's something, something that I have with me. Okay, good. Did you feel it, guys? Thumbs up if you did. If not, but just did you feel a little bit of a difference, right? It's so small, right? We're not talking about a big difference. You'll notice like 5% difference, but it's an important 5%. Okay. I don't know if you guys can do it in your house, but if I put the temperature up to 73 degrees from 72, I can feel it. Even at 1 degree, the house feels hotter. You can feel that difference, right? And it's only 1 degree, but you felt it. Okay. Now, I want you to do the same thing, but I want you to take the knife now and I want you to put it somewhere that you wouldn't normally put it. So for me, my left pocket is probably not somewhere I would put a weapon. Like put it somewhere, don't be ridiculous. Like just maybe if you carry in your right, put it in your left. If you put it in the front, maybe put it in the back. And walk now and see when you're carrying something where it doesn't belong. It's a little kind of funny for me. If you do the same thing with your cell phone, if you put your cell phone in your right pocket or your back pocket and you put it somewhere else, it feels odd when it's not in the same spot, right? It feels like my body's not as comfortable where it is. This is important to detect as well, that it's not in the right place, right? Try to understand when you're walking around and you realize that your cell phone is not where it's supposed to be, and you have this momentary panic as to where did you put it? Is it in your bag? Did you leave it at home? It's like this momentary panic because you didn't know it, but your body felt it. Like I don't know if you've ever had that. Like if I realized I got this feeling like I'm missing something on my body, and I realized, oh my God, my cell phone's not where it's supposed to be. And I start wondering where I put it. Awesome. Did you feel it? It feels weird, right? As carrying any weapon in the wrong place is a feeling, not a think thing. It's a feeling, right? Very important. Some people very naturally carry it back here for whatever reason. Some people here, some people here. Wherever it is, that's the most important. Okay, put it back to where it's comfortable. Okay, put it back to where it's comfortable. Okay. So now I want you to walk with the weapon in your hand. So don't hide it, but with the weapon in your hand and just walk around. And ask yourself, what changed now from when the weapon was not in your hand and it was just hidden on you, carried? Now you have it out. What changed? Right? Something changed for sure, because now the weapon is visible and it's in your hand. So it's a little bit different than when it was put away. And again, if you were in class and watching other people walk around with a knife in their hand, you would also see a change in the environment, in the mood. When you see a weapon physically out, it changes the mood. Come guys, come close. Let me share a little story. So I was in the States a long time ago during an election year. And I don't know if you guys realize, it's very common in America when there's elections and politicians gather at rallies in the state that citizens show up armed. Like I'm not talking about a pistol. I'm talking about there's, Clinton, Obama, whatever it is, and they got a shotgun right there. Like it's right there and it's their right to have it. And that's what they're telling that president. They're saying, I'm here because I'm allowed to have this. Because if you're in a crowd of people and you see a guy with a shotgun beside you and guns all around you, it changes the friggin' mood, okay? We don't realize that around here. But in some places, this is very normal, okay? Walking around with a knife in your hand is very unusual for Canadians. We don't do this, okay? We don't do this. But on a farm, very common that somebody walks around with an axe or a knife. They got to do stuff on the farm. It's very normal. So try to see what in you, because it's not normal, what changed in you. It maybe feels different. If any of you realize my arm wasn't swinging as much as my other arm, the weapon that carried the weapon that was in my hand, I was like, it was almost dead still, right? Now I'm going to move the weapon to my non-dominant hand, okay? And I'm going to walk around with it and see how that feels. Try it. Walk around. This feels unusual for me, of course, and it should for you too. The same would happen if you brushed your teeth with your left hand as compared to your right hand if you're right or left-handed. And that's a really good piece of homework if you want to try that tonight. Before you go to bed, brush your teeth with your good hand, and then for 10, 20 seconds, try brush it with your opposite hand and see how different those things feel. That's the same idea that happens, right? Awesome. So the reason I'm having you do this work, okay, is because people pull out weapons for emotional reasons, okay? This is very important for us to understand. Nobody will pull a weapon for no reason. You upset them, you scared them, they're angry, something happened. So I'm asking these questions, how do you feel all the time? Because it's not to be heebie-jeebie with you. It's that you understand when there's a weapon, there's emotions involved. When there's emotions, you better have your feelings in check, because I can't control somebody else's, but I need to know my own without a doubt. And there's subtle and there's big ones. So there's lots that go on, right? As you're walking around now, you're going to hold the weapon in your dominant hand, okay? So watch me for a sec. I'm walking backwards, right? It's in my hand. The moment I go forward, I pass it to my left hand, okay? Any change of directions, I change the weapon. I change the hand. Any change of direction, left to right, backwards to forwards, I'm changing my hand, okay? Just practice that for a little bit. Make the transition smooth, right? Make the transition smooth. No, guys, please come close. Watch me. Okay. Remember, I don't want you to study knife work like a martial artist. I want you to study it like real, like thuggery. Okay. This is what we're doing this for. We're all good people here. We're not going to walk around stabbing anybody. The issue is we need to understand how other people do it. Nobody shows the knife. Okay. When you're walking, right? And I change the direction. It's not like I have the knife out here and I'm changing direction. The knife is very close to me. Okay. Nobody with a weapon. Look at the knife here. See the knife here? I'm going this way, right? The moment I go that way, I pass it very close to my body, right? Nobody shows the weapon like this. This is only in Hollywood movies. It's usually very subtle, okay? So it's like, it's hidden within the body. I don't want somebody to take my weapon, so I'm not going to put it out here. I'm going to keep it very close to me. And every time I change angles, the exchange is very close. It's not out here, right? It's close to the body. Okay. This is how they want to hide their move. They don't want to show you have a knife. They want you to feel it. They don't want you to see it. Okay. So as you're walking and you change your direction, the knife exchange should be very close to the body, and it will also be very smooth, right? It's not a tense movement. So try it again. Exchange is very close to the body. Awesome, guys. Much better. Okay. So when we're talking about, because we're studying about drawing and we're studying about moving the knife, what's important now is understanding how people's eyes track stuff. So big movements hide little movements. I want you to remember that, okay? So if I have the knife here, okay, You're following big movements, my body being the big one, and not so much the smaller movements. Okay. So let's say I'm walking this way, right? When I want to go that way, right? I'm going to turn my body first and then my hand comes in. You see that? You follow the big movement and don't see the small movement as much. But if I move with my hand before my body, you'll see this because this is the movement. You'll detect this, right? So what you want to do is always be moving your body first. Okay? So as you change direction with your body and then you grab the weapon. You change direction and it'll be hard for people to see it because they're tracking the big movement, not the small movement. The small movement gets lost. Okay, so try that same drill, go a little bit slower, and make sure when you change directions, you change directions with the body, and then you exchange the knife. Okay, then you exchange the knife. This way, people won't see it as easily. They won't be able to detect the work you're doing or the fact that you're changing your hands. Awesome. Good. Come close. Okay. Not bad. Come close. Any questions, guys? How's that feel? Could you see that a little bit? Does it make a little bit of sense or no? Or it's confusing you? It's really subtle, guys. I want to go slowly because this work is, we're talking about movements that occupy less than 2 seconds of an event, but are important 2 seconds, right? How you pull it out and how you detect it, right? Okay, so put the knife on you now. Put the knife on you. Reach in, grab your weapon, pull it out. Okay. Put it back in. Okay. One more time. Smoothly, right? Reach in, grab your weapon, pull it out. Okay. Put it back in. Now, your left hand has to do the same thing. So just watch me. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to pull up my knife. So the two hands are doing the same thing, but only one will have the knife. So I'm trying to teach my left hand what my right hand knows. Very symmetrical work, okay? It's very interesting because you're studying how to be ambidextrous. So if I decide to put the knife down on my left hand, the same thing will apply. So you shouldn't be able to detect. Sometimes when we're pulling out a weapon, just watch me. See, it's like everybody knows it's this hand. They'll see it right away. They can tell that this is going to pull it out. But like this, they're not sure. It's just like, you can see where it'll be. So it's very symmetrical work. So it's like synchro swimming. You ever seen those guys in synchronized swimming? It's like the two hands are doing the exact same thing. So if I had the knife behind me, so let's say I have the knife here, right? So I'm here, both my hands go back, both my hands come forward. It's very symmetrical, okay? So I don't care where you put it. Try at least 2-3 different spots and try see if you can teach your non-dominant hand to behave exactly like your dominant hand from the beginning to the end. Okay. Take your time, right? Really relax. Make everything perfect. Remember, you got to impress the Russian judge. He's hard to he's hard to impress. Remember, try a few different positions as well. Awesome, guys. Very good. Very good. So again, you can do this with almost anything, okay? Like if I fix my hair, the same thing, right? If I fix my shirt, if I pull up my pants, if I tuck in my shirt, if you teach yourself to do exactly the same thing, right? You can actually make your left hand almost as good as your right hand. Now, one of the reasons I'm showing is who to me, if you had to combine an attribute of weapon work with something, what would it be? If you could combine another skill set, what would you do? What would you combine with this? Let me ask you a question. What would you combine? What do you think would be a benefit? If I showed you how to work with a knife, what other attribute do you think would aid you in understanding knife work? Think about it. I know my answer. Okay, let me cut. Yeah, go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. Tell me, what do you think?
Well, maybe the wave strike stuff we were doing on Monday, maybe doing it with a knife,
Think of a complete other profession, something completely different. What's another profession that would aid you in understanding this work, that would really help you? Most martial artists with it.
Oh, a butcher, like a butcher, somebody who has
A butcher, okay, yeah, that's for sure. But kind of some. How about a magician?
Yeah, that could work.
What guys? What does a magician do? He puts the friggin' bird right in front of you, and they're gone. Like he can make a bird disappear. It's right in front of you. It's sleight of hand. You understand how this and this. See how I hesitated? You have to detect those things. For me, I need to be able to pull it out just as smooth as nothing. They go to you, look, I have nothing. And then poof, they got a flower pot growing out of their hands, right? Guys, magicians and pickpockets, basically a pickpocket is a magician, okay? A good pickpocket can take and right in front of you. I've seen it. It's unbelievable. It is a marvel. I've seen it as a show in Vegas, and I've seen it in real life on the streets. How good pickpockets can be right in front of you. If you have it on, it's going to be gone. That's it. Okay. Knife work, we're so used to showing, right? And this is a Hollywood thing. It's not a real life thing. In real life, they know how to pull that weapon out without you even seeing it. And it's because they practice being sleight of hand. Okay. And this is something you practice. Now, great training. Okay. Great training is trying to get into the kitchen when somebody's cooking and taking some food without them knowing it. That's some great training. If you can get into the kitchen, grab a stick of bacon before somebody realizes it, or a cookie, you're in good shape. That's the training, okay? Especially around Easter and Christmas. So this stuff is important to me because it's very subtle and it has a lot to do with real life. Because in real life, things are very subtle how they happen. Okay, great. Sound good? Okay, so you can practice this. Both hands have to do the same thing. As long as they're doing the same thing, you're good. Okay, it's really subtle. Okay, let's go down on the ground. So you can move your camera if you can, guys, just so I can kind of see you. It'll be a little bit easier for me. I'm just going to change mine. I set it up here. Okay, there we go. All right, okay. So from the ground, the similar idea, right? So I'm gonna take my knife, I'm gonna put it just where my feet are. You guys can see that right there. Yeah. So it's like, not too far ahead of my feet, it's pointing there. So I have to do two things now, okay? So very similar to drawing the weapon, but the weapon's in front. I've got to move my legs behind me and lay on my stomach and grab my weapon. So it looks a little something like this. So by the time I get to my stomach, the knife should already be in my hand, okay? I don't want to do this. I don't want to go on my stomach and then grab the knife. So watch me. As my feet are back, I've already got the weapon in my hand. Okay, so the timing is important. So you got to get to your stomach. You got to move to your stomach, and the knife has to be ready as soon as you're there. Try it. Yeah, make it smooth. Make it smooth. Try it, guys. Let me watch you guys work. Jason, even slower. Even slower. Don't. It's not a speed thing, guys. Study smooth first. Fast becomes fast. Smooth becomes fast. But sharp does. So just take your time. Throw your legs behind you. So you're doing two things at once. That's better. That's it, Jason. Much better. Try it, Tasya. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, don't worry about falling. You need to lay on your stomach and you need to get the knife, and it's got to be there before you land. Let me see, Aaron. Try it. You see how you fumbled? It's got to be right there. It's got to be. You need it comfortable, guys. When it's in your hand, it should be ready to work. That's better. That's better. Go slow, guys. Go slow. Make this comfortable. I would practice this for a long time. The timing is the most. Halfway through the move, the knife should be in your hand. By the time you're in the stomach, it's ready to be used. If you need it, it's ready. It's one thing to have it. It's another thing for it to be ready. It needs to be ready to be used if you need it. Much better, Jason. Much better. Yeah. That's it, Talia. That's it. So think of swinging your legs back. Tasya, that's it, Tasya. That's it. That's it. Okay, let me throw another one into the mix here. Let me throw another one into the mix. So now the weapon is on me in a seated position, okay? You're gonna do a whole bunch today, so just I'll record it and you'll be watching. So I need to take my weapon out. Maybe it's best, so just so I can show you like this. So I've got the weapon in my pouch. I need to lie down and get to my stomach and then be ready with the weapon. So I have the weapon on me, right? In a seated position. I have to turn, but at the same time, draw my weapon. So again, I've got to land on my stomach, back, and at the same time, pull out my weapon. Okay, try that. Try that one. Please don't rush. It's not a speed drill, but you need to fall, turn, and pull your weapon. You have three things now. Takes time. So do it ridiculously slow. Jay, were you rolling your eyes there? Jason Smith, you rolling? Thought you were rolling your eyes. Sorry to challenge you guys, but that's just how I roll. Come on, Aaron, let me watch you. Come on, go slow. Back, grab the weapon, turn. There you go. Perfect. Just like that speed. Guys, make it super slow, and then it'll become fast as you get comfortable. No, Tassia, watch me. Watch me for a second. So I'm here, right? So I'm going back. At the same time, I grab my weapon, and then I have to turn. I have to land on my stomach. Yeah. This is challenging, I know. Okay, hold on. Let's make it easier. Come on, watch me. Let's make it easier because you see you're struggling. So I'm on my back. I have my knife. I have to go onto my stomach and pull the knife at the same time. This is a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about falling. So I've got to get to my stomach and pull the weapon out at the same time. Okay, try that one. A little bit easier. There you go. And try left and right. dominant, non-dominant. Just go slowly and they'll work just fine. Keep going, guys. Great. It looks great. And if you feel comfortable, you can go faster, but only if you feel comfortable. Don't do it if you're not comfortable. Okay, next one. Watch me, guys. I'm lying down on my back. I'm putting the knife somewhere close to me. Okay, so it's very close. Okay, so it's right here. So the idea is I have to get to my weapon quick and sit up. So I put the weapon somewhere close to me, so it's not far. Okay, so I start to stand up, and right away I grab my knife. I put it down. I lie back. So I'm getting up, and I'm not grabbing and getting up. Everything at the same time. Okay, try it. So you're getting up first and grabbing, standing, and sitting up, and then lying back down, placing it down. Yeah, smooth, guys, smooth. It's one action. So halfway up, you got it, and that's it. No, guys, watch me. Watch. It's good. I believe me. I'm not. It's good. Take so. Try to think of things that. So watch me. So let's say I'm sleeping, right? And I wear my glasses, right? So I got my glasses close to my bed. So if I hear something, what do? I grab my glasses and I put them on, and then I realize, oh, I don't need them. I take them off and I lie down. I grab my glasses, I put them on. I realize I put them down. It's like I don't do two movements. They blended. Okay, try that. Blend it. Stand, sit up. As you see, grab the knife, sit up, and then as you go, put it back down. Exactly. That's it, Jason. That's it. That's it. Yeah. By the time you're up, it's already in your hand, ready to use if you need it. That's it. Much better. Yeah. Think of something you would pick up as you sit up. It's common for you. Great, guys. Great. Big difference. Huge difference. Okay. Hold the knife in your hand. Okay. Hold that in your hand. And now you're going to start to move the knife. Okay. And the knife moves your body. So I start to move. So I make like a cutting motion and it moves me. I move the knife and it moves me. Right. So it's like I'm casting a rod, like I'm casting a line when I'm fishing. It moves me. Right. It starts to move me all around. And I could switch hands. It's very visible. Like I'm not hiding the knife now. It's very visible, right? Left side, right side, upwards. Don't imagine cutting people. Just imagine the weight of the knife moves you. Like you cast it like a fisherman would cast a line. Guys, watch me for a sec. Watch me. Look. See if you can see it. Just watch me. It's like a, when you're fishing and you're casting. I cast the thing, and then I cast it forward. I cast it back. I cast it forward. I cast it to the right. I cast it to the left. So it's like the weight of the knife, just a little bit of weight moves you. Huh? That's it. Try it like that. Cast the knife. Yeah. Big movement. This is very visible. Everyone can see it. And try to lie down, come back up so that, yeah, that's it, Jason. That's it. Tassia, that's it. Yeah, throw it. Don't be afraid. It can go faster now. Awesome, guys. Good. Now you're going to start to move with the knife, but now you're going to hide it a little bit. So the knife is like, so I'm moving in such a way on the ground. See how I'm always hiding I'm trying to hide my knife. I'm not putting it on me. I'm not hiding it physically. I'm trying to like hide it behind something. See, now it's behind my leg, right? Behind my back, behind my arm. So I'm trying to kind of always understand. See, no, there it is, right? I'm always, this is important because people that have weapons, they're always trying to hide it. It's in their hand. It's not like up a sleeve, but they're hiding it and they're moving with it. So it's like study now how to hide your weapon as you're moving. So nobody should see it. So your movement hides the weapon. So think of where your arms are. Think of where your legs are. Think of where your body is. Try to always understand how to hide the weapon so nobody will see it. Awesome, guys. Good. Stand up now. Good. Okay. Awesome. So exact same thing from standing. Okay. So put, let's say, the knife behind your hand, right? And now pass it to the other hand and hide it. See, so it's like I turn it up, I cover it, and I pass it. Look, there's the knife behind my forearm, right? You can't see it. I cover it and I turn it. Or the same like this. See, here, here, here. And then slowly start to use your body position, right? Like, see, there's the knife here. See, so I turn, now it's behind my hip. Try to move around, like take a few steps and try to hide the weapon, right? Like it's still in my hand. You can see it. It's not, I'm not putting it, but I'm trying to use my body, like the silhouette of my body to hide the weapon. If I go like this, you can see the weapon. If I turn my wrist, you can't see it. If I go this way, you can't see it. So I'm always trying to look at the way people look at it, and I'm trying to hide that weapon. And it's important to do this with walking, right? So see, here you can see the knife. Now, not so much, right? So you're studying how to hide the knife and use your body as a shield, right? How to cover it so nobody can see it. Now, you're not doing it because you want to study how to get close to people to stab them, but you want to look at the movement because that's how people do it when they want to get close to you to use a weapon. So you're understanding how real criminality thinks, how they get close to you, or how they try to hide a weapon that they don't want you to see. Come close, guys. Just quick. So I don't know if any of you guys know, like somebody that's like a tradesman, like a plumber or a mechanic of some sort, or electrician, things like this. If you talk to them, what the interesting is, they can tell when people are trying to hide mistakes in their work, how they cover it up, how it shows how the work, how they're trying to hope nobody notices this bad work or something that is wrong, right? And if you ever had a home inspection done, you know, those guys usually know the guy that's done a shitty job on the roof and this, because people know they've done something wrong and then they band-aid it. They hope nobody notices, right? People that carry weapons, one, don't want you to notice it. So they try to position themselves. So if I have um, a weapon behind me, right? So like this, you don't see anything, right? Or I have my hands behind me, right? And I have the weapon right here, right? So sometimes if you go to the side, you'll see the person turn, right? You'll see them turn. So by you doing this now, see how I have my arms crossed, right? But there's the knife, right? So whenever you see something unusual, you always have to try to imagine behind it, right? Isn't that what electrician does? He tries to imagine what's behind the drywall, right? Isn't that what an architect does? He's looking at the house and he's trying to understand if everything makes sense here, the way it's positioned, okay? So as you're walking around, think of your body as something that you're putting in front of the weapon to hide it. So if I'm like this, it's behind me. If I'm like this, it's on this side. If I'm over here, it's in front of me. And because I'm moving and other people are moving, you have to study all the time your body position, right? So the knife is on my side, the knife is on my back. The knife is in behind my arm, the knife is behind my arms, right? So walk around just one more minute and really try to hide it and put your body or something in front of that thing so nobody can see it. Really walk around too, like try different angles, see how you move. And these kind of things are really interesting for me because it's very common for a professional to do this work. Awesome, awesome. Something for you to practice for sure. Okay, a few more things I want to show you and that you can practice, okay? So I've got the knife on my side. I guess I could put it in my pouch too. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm gonna go down, but I want you to watch me really carefully. As I start to fall down, so I'm gonna put my hand in my pocket. As I lower myself, I'm gonna draw the weapon. As I stand up, I put it away, okay? very subtle move, okay? You could do the same thing, Jason, if you want to sit. If it hurts to go down on your knee like that, it's the same thing as sitting. So if I have a bench back here, as I'm here, as I sit, I pull out my weapon. As I stand, I put it in my pocket, right? So from a seated to a standing, or from a kneeling to a standing position, try. What's interesting about these positions is the knife being at your waist is the place where it bends. So this is important for you to realize. If you bend, it's harder to pull it out. You have to keep, if you want to draw your weapon, you have to keep that you have to keep this thing very without bending. Otherwise, it's hard to pull it out. It's hard to kind of take this out. Yeah. Please don't rush. Go slow. It's smooth, becomes fast. Yeah, very good. Okay, guys, watch me. A little trick, okay? A little trick. So when I put my hand here, okay? When I put my hand on the knife, right? I don't have to pull my hand out. The moment I sit, it comes out. But maybe I'll make it more obvious. You can see it. Okay, there's my knife right here, okay? So as soon as I grab it, my hips fall. I don't have to pull it out. It's like I'm taking my hips down, right? It's like I take my hips down. I don't need to pull the knife out. The knife is in my belt. So by me dropping my legs down, I didn't pull that, I dropped down and it came out, okay? This is important because sometimes this kind of movement, things get caught up in your pants or in your clothing. So when you put your hand on it, don't do anything, just sit and it'll come out all on its own. You don't have to pull it out. It'll come out on its own. Try it. Keep working, guys. I'll be right back. Guys, watch me for a sec. So here's a different weapon, right? Here's a different weapon, okay? So this movement, right? This movement is very visible, right? But watch, if I move my leg back, it's easy to pull the weapon out now. Watch again. Look at the line, right? There's the weapon. This is difficult, okay? But as soon as I go like that, it's easy, right? Here's my favorite one. The knee comes up, right? So this is a big movement and hard. But watch, when I lift my knee up, it's easy to pull the weapon out, okay? When I move my leg back, you see the line? It's easy to pull out, right? If I'm here, see, the weapon's here like this, right? If I move this leg back, it's easy to pull out. Because this part is where a belt is and it's tight. So by moving my leg back, it's easy to pull out. Okay? This is what I want you to understand when you're carrying a weapon. Where people really screw up is where they carry it, is they never study different positions. Like, watch me for a sec. Here, let's say I'm sitting down, right? But here's the gun in my pants, and I'm sitting. So everything is scrunched up here. Everything is scrunched. My hips, it's hard to pull the weapon out. But if I go sideways, I can pull it out. Watch, look again. I lengthened my leg, and it's easy to pull out, right? This is something that I would say if you have a weapon, whatever it is, you need to study how to pull it out from so many different positions, and it should be smooth, right? So look, did we study any stabbing today? No. Did we study anything? We studied movements that lead to using or applying a weapon. The more you do this, the more you'll see other people do it. Moments before that, you'll see the movement, you'll be, that's a weapon coming out. And it'll give you that second to back up or to detect that that's the way. If I know somebody's got a weapon down their pants here, like right in the front like this, right? I know how they're gonna hide it, right? So if you look, you can start to see the outline. But most people don't look, that's the problem. So part of this class that I wanted to show you is to study how to conceal, draw weapons so that you can more likely detect other people to do it, okay? This is not glorious stuff, but it is the stuff of real importance. Like it will buy you like a second or 2 seconds. And every second you purchase in a real situation, whether it's before or after, doesn't matter. So, you know, from the time a bad situation happens, I look at it like I'm purchasing time. If I can buy an extra second, my chance of survival go up. If I can detect before the weapon was out, a second or two, my chance of survival go up. So try to see this as like detection, okay? Now there's some wonderful training opportunities out there. You can see when I go on the subway, when I go on the, you can see all kinds of trouble. You can see how people are trying to hide things themselves, things. Just watch and observe and try to say to yourself, if there's at least one person with a weapon on this train, and it's pretty safe to say somebody's got a weapon on them, okay? Doesn't mean they're gonna use it, but it's on them. Try to figure out who that is. Don't profile, try to use your instinct to say, if that person had a weapon, where would they put it? And try to kind of look and understand, this will serve you really good if you can start to develop that skill set, okay? And also practice it. I don't know, just practice it. You can use a cell phone. You can use anything. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a knife. It doesn't have to be a gun. It doesn't have to be crazy. It can be anything as a weapon, right? I mean, a phone, it's gotten more people in trouble than a knife, that's for sure. Especially nowadays. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Super hard to teach over the online, but I think you guys got a lot out of it. And I hope you practice it a little bit, right? Many different ways to do this. Just ask me questions if you ever have, okay? Be on the lookout. I think we're going to be opened up soon. So be on the lookout for the news, and hopefully we'll get back to training more in person, hopefully by the beginning of February, okay? Late January for sure. Till then, stay online and keep learning, okay? Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you. Hide, understand your work. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye, Tassia. Bye, Jay. Take care, everybody. Bye,
Bye.
Aaron. Bye, Glads. Glads, which was better? Was it better? Was mommy's class better or yours? Which one did you like? Did you like the cell phone or the knife? Or are they the same? The knife is better. I know. I know. Good, good. Well, take care of mommy. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.